Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has stated that Spurs are in no rush to sign a new number 9 and are happy to wait for the summer transfer window. Reports are stating that Spurs are open to offers for Eric Dier in the January transfer window as his contract ends at the club at the end of this season. Reports are stating that Spurs are interested in strikers Serhou Guirassy and Ivan Toney. Shakhtar Donetsk have stated that they are in talks with Spurs about a compensation package for Manor Solomon, and the VAR audio will be released to the public once Liverpool have reviewed it.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs winning. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll begin for all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Let's start with a report from Team Talk. They are stating that Tottenham Hotspur interest in top Bundesliga goalscorer is genuine, as West Ham are lurking amid €20 million release clause. A host of Premier League clubs, including Tottenham and West Ham, have taken an interest in a Stuttgart striker who is currently outscoring Harry Kane in the Bundesliga. Serhou Guirassy is hitting the radar of Premier League clubs following his early season goal blitz in Germany. The striker is one of the most informed front men in Europe right now after a return of 10 goals from 6 Bundesliga outings. The report then states his power in the air, his strength, his close control and deadly finishing powers cannot be ignored. Guirassy, 27, only joined Stuttgart permanently from Rennes earlier this year, but has already got eyes on him from across England's top flight. The report also states that Brighton were one of the first clubs to be offered a chance to sign the striker a couple of years back, but more recently the likes of Fulham and West Ham have been showing interest. Both of those clubs are looking to add a striker in the January transfer window, and it is also understood that Tottenham are interested in him. Tottenham's groundwork for replacing Harry Kane in the squad is being carefully considered for the long term, but the club will step up the process in 2024. The decision not to rush into replacing Harry Kane in the summer transfer window has paid off so far, and the prowess of Heung-min Son through the middle is something that the club are more than happy with. Spurs have scored 17 times in 7 Premier League games so far this season, with Heung-min Son scoring 6. Richarlison is considered as the other main plan of attack, but there are various considerations about how that will change as the team continues to transform under boss Ange Postecoglou. Team Talk have also stated that interest in Ivan Toney is genuine, according to sources close to the club, but his rising valuation and serious competition from other London clubs is going to be a concern. Spurs may not even decide to go into the market for a striker in January, when Ivan Toney is expected to make his move, so that one could pass them by. Also in this report it says tantalising release clause makes Guirassy a tempting target for Spurs, and it also states it is worth keeping an eye on the Jota situation and his fallout at Al Ittihad, as there is potential for his creativity being high on the agenda at Tottenham if it becomes possible. He is well known to Postecoglou, having worked together at Celtic. But Guirassy would be better suited to an end-of-season move, and anyway, that would suit Spurs too. The scouting of Guirassy is to be stepped up, and it is no surprise. He has a €20 million release clause in his current Stuttgart deal, and signing him at that price would seem one of the best bargains in world football. There is potential for a new improved contract in Germany, which would also impact the release clause, but that situation has not yet got going. A report has just been published by ESPN, and they are stating that Tottenham and Shakhtar Donetsk in talks over Solomon compensation fee. Shakhtar Donetsk chief executive Sergei Palkin has told ESPN that the club is in talks with Tottenham over a compensation package for Manor Solomon. The 24-year-old joined Spurs on a free transfer in July after taking advantage of a FIFA rule which allowed foreign players in Russia and Ukraine to suspend their contracts following the outbreak of war in the region. Shakhtar Donetsk are one of several clubs to have completed the changes to Annex 7 of the regulations on the status and transfer of players, but those protests were dismissed by FIFA. Solomon was under contract with Shakhtar Donetsk until the end of 2023, meaning Tottenham Hotspur would have had to pay a transfer fee had Annex 7 not existed. However, Palkin is optimistic that Shakhtar Donetsk will receive some money direct from Spurs regardless, as conversations continue with the club's Director of Football Administration and Governance, Rebecca Capelhorn. Sergio Palkin said, "We had conversations with Rebecca and Tottenham. We agreed we will send propositions. We are now in, let's say, a negotiation process with them. I hope and believe we will find a solution. At this moment, it is quite early to tell something because we are on the way in these negotiations." Palkin also added, "We want to cover our losses. For Tottenham, it is not big money. We paid €6.5 million, and I don't believe this is huge money for a club of Tottenham's level. For a club that participates in the English Premier League, I believe it is possible to cover these losses. I am not trying to generate some kind of profit. I believe we will find a solution. I don't know if they will accept €6.5 million, but I believe we will find a solution. From an image point of view, they don't need this kind of case. This kind of case smells not so good because when you sign a free guy who should go for €20 million, it is not good. We played a good friendly game. They were open with us. They helped us, etc., etc. Therefore, I feel these relations, we have good relations with Tottenham Hotspur, and I believe these relations will help us find a good solution. I believe in a maximum of 2 weeks, we will find a solution." Now, lots of reports have been published about this one today. This one is from the Daily Mail, and they are stating that Liverpool have received the VAR audio from Spurs' defeat, and it will be released to the public once the Reds have had a chance to listen to it, and it could be published even before Howard Webb's next TV appearance. Liverpool demanded PGMOL to reveal the audio behind Saturday's VAR blunder, and the PGMOL will release the audio to the public after reviewing it with Liverpool. An article has just been published by The Athletic, and they are stating that Tottenham v Liverpool VAR officials not selected for Premier League matches after error. It then states the 2 match officials who were stood down from duty after Saturday's incident in which Liverpool was incorrectly denied a goal against Tottenham will not participate in the upcoming Premier League fixtures this weekend. Darren England and Dan Cook served as VAR and assistant VAR during the incident in which a significant human error led to the incorrect disallowing of Luis Diaz's goal in Liverpool's 2-1 loss to Spurs. So Tottenham's next game, of course, is this Saturday coming away at Luton Town at Kenilworth Road, 12:30 p.m. kickoff. We are currently second in the Premier League table, just 1 point away from league leaders and champions Manchester City. Our opponents on Saturday are actually in action this evening at home against Burnley, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that Spurs are not panicking in going out and signing a new number 9 in the January transfer window, and the club are happy to wait for the summer transfer window. He has stated that Tottenham have started this season so well despite losing a world-class goalscorer in Harry Kane. Still, it's clear this summer that they didn't panic when Harry Kane left for Bayern Munich. Of course, it was a complicated decision, and Daniel Levy offered the player a new deal and tried in every way to keep Harry Kane at the club, but it was impossible to convince him at that point. It's crucial to point out that Tottenham decided, along with manager Ange Postecoglou, to go for a different strategy because there was not really a proper number 9 available on the market for Spurs. They decided to go out for a different type of player, and they went out and signed Brennan Johnson. They are very happy with this. They feel that they have signed an important player for the present and for the future. Fabrizio Romano then went on to say the relationship between Daniel Levy and past Spurs managers haven't always been that smooth. So it's important that together with Postecoglou, they were able to decide on this strategy together, and it seems to be working well. Fabrizio Romano then states that Tottenham are still not desperate to find a new number 9 on the market. They will wait to understand the situation on the market close to next summer, around March, April or May. But for the moment, it is completely quiet. A report has just been published by the Football Insider, and they are stating that Tottenham are ready to accept January offers for defender Eric Dier. The 29-year-old is out of contract at the end of the 2023-2024 campaign, meaning the mid-season window is Tottenham's last chance to cash in. The Football Insider have stated that Eric Dier does not feature in Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham plans despite his return to the bench for recent games. He made the squad for the games against Arsenal and Sheffield United last month, but was omitted completely as Postecoglou's side defeated Liverpool 2-1 on Saturday. The England international had offers in the summer window, but chose to remain at the North London club. He has since been linked with a potential reunion with ex-Spurs boss Jose Mourinho at Roma in the January window. Paul also states that Eric Dier is likely to seriously consider that move despite originally planning to run down his contract and leave on a free transfer in the summer of 2024. The defender is yet to play a single minute of football for Tottenham in the 2023-2024 campaign. That is despite being a regular at the heart of the Tottenham defence under previous coaches Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte. Just last season, Eric Dier made 42 appearances across all competitions last season, playing exclusively as a centre-back. So my thoughts on all of these stories in today's episode. Let's start by talking about VAR. I tell you what, of course, I've got my Spurs hat on, and of course, I'm delighted with the 3 points. I'm delighted that Spurs beat Liverpool. One win in our last 27 meetings before Saturday against Liverpool. It does feel good to get the 3 points, but let me take my Tottenham hat off for a minute. VAR and the officials on that day inside that stadium were an absolute disgrace. And I have said many, many times that I think that the audio should be public. They do it in the rugby, they do it in some other sports as well. And I think that the refereeing, the quality of refereeing, and of course VAR was brought in to improve the game. And we're speaking more and more about VAR and about decisions and wrong decisions than the actual football, which I think is a huge, huge shame. I think, obviously the Liverpool fans are distraught. The Liverpool fans are extremely angry and frustrated with it, and I completely get that. Shocking decisions, and it has been widely spoken about in the last couple of days. However, Spurs do have the 3 points. I'm delighted that we are sitting second in the table, but VAR really does need to be looked at, and big changes need to be made. Now, reports about Spurs wanting to cash in on defender Eric Dier in the January transfer window. Of course, it's all going to depend on Eric Dier. It would be good for the club that we do move him on as soon as possible. If Spurs can get any money for him in the January transfer window, then great. And Postecoglou can use that money to then reinvest in players that he actually wants to use, because it doesn't look like Eric Dier will be featuring for Spurs. Of course, if we do get one or two injuries to the likes of Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero, you never know, Eric Dier could come back. So watch this space. But I think that, if Eric Dier could get a move in the January window and Spurs could cash in, then fantastic. I would be surprised. I would think that Eric Dier would probably want to be leaving the football club on a free transfer in the summer of 2024. Shakhtar Donetsk being in talks with Spurs about Manor Solomon. I've said this before. I think that Spurs will do the right thing. I hope Spurs do the right thing and give as much money as they can to Shakhtar Donetsk, because I think that Sergej Palkin is absolutely right. He's a 20 million euro player, and they want around 6.5 million euros. And I think that is an extremely good deal for Spurs. And I think that, do the right thing. Spurs are interested in strikers Ivan Toney and Serhou Guirassy, and Fabrizio Romano stated there is no rush to sign a number 9. I'm extremely happy with our front line at the moment. I know that Richarlison has had a lot of criticism from a number of Tottenham fans, a number of pundits, ex-players, etc. But I think that Heung-min Son in the middle. You know, ever since that Burnley game of him scoring a hat-trick, I can't see that Heung-min Son is ever going to play out on the left again. You know, we do have a number of options. I think the forward line is absolutely fantastic. I know we're going to score goals. Of course, we're going to concede goals as well. But this style of football under Ange Postecoglou, I tell you what, if you were one of the fans who were lucky to be inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday after the game, I have never seen anything like that at Spurs, at our new stadium, since we moved in there. You know, since we played that first Premier League game in April 2019, you know, 4.5 years. It has been, that Saturday was unbelievable. The atmosphere, you know, the way that we actually got the 3 points. Of course, everyone was absolutely delighted because, of course, it was the end of the game. It was a similar atmosphere at the Sheffield United game, but it just was raised. You know, it went up a notch. Unbelievable. The fans didn't stop singing. Everyone's in such a good mood. We're sitting second in the Premier League. We're unbeaten. Postecoglou, last to leave the pitch again. His connection with the fans, unreal. Loving it at the moment. And, you know, long may this continue. And I think that we're playing Luton Town on Saturday, the early kickoff. Spurs could actually go top of the Premier League table. It might only be for a short time, but they go top of the Premier League table and with a win. And, you know, the fact that we could go into the international break unbeaten, I think would put an even bigger smile on all of our faces. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your week. Keep smiling. Come on, you Spurs.